How to get a scholarship in Australia. Number one, make a list of the 43 universities in Australia. Now, there are around 43 universities in Australia that offer master by research or PhD scholarships. So the first thing you need to do is that to know that which universities are these. So what I suggest you is that make an Excel sheet and put down the names of these universities in the website of these universities is our first step. So this is going to take you maybe around 20 or 30 minutes, but you would at least have a list of the universities that offer these scholarships. Number two, make a list of the relevant professors. So what happens is that for to get a scholarship for your PhD or master by research, you need to contact the professors. For this purpose, what you need to do is that you need to go to the website of each university, and then you need to identify that which are the 4 or 5 professors that are relevant to your profile, which means that the area that you work in is aligned with the area in which these professors are working. So this way, you would end up with most likely around 200 professors who work in the same area as your background. Number three, follow these professors on social media. Now, what happens is that, okay, you have the list of professors whose background is aligned with your background, but you also need to find out the professors who have funding, right? So, not every professor would have funding. So, even if you contact them, but if they don't have funding, they would not be able to help you much in terms of securing a scholarship. So amongst these professors, what you need to do is that you need to follow them on their social media like Twitter, on LinkedIn, where they often announce that, okay, I have an open PhD position, I have the funding, and you need to apply for that position. Okay, so as soon as you identify that, okay, these are the relevant professors, you go online. Nowadays, most of the professors, they have some kind of social media presence. So follow and see when they post about that they have an open position for a PhD or a master by research. Number four, check the personal website of these professors. Now, many professors, in addition to being on some social media presence, they also have websites of personal websites, or sometimes the websites of the research lab. So they also announce over there that they have an open position, and then students who are interested in those positions, they can apply for that. So also follow them on their personal websites. Number five, email the professor. Now, when you know that this professor has an open position, what you need to do is that you need to email that professor. Now, what happens is that when a professor announces a position, there are thousands of emails that he receives in response to that particular um, announcement. Now, standing out among those many applicants is quite challenging. Okay, so there are certain things you can do. For example, the one thing you can do is that as soon as you see the open position, you immediately email the professor. Why you should email immediately? Because what happens is that the first few emails, they get noticed, but if the professor has already received 1000 emails and yours one is 1001, it's unlikely going to be noticed. So that's the first thing. And then what you can also do is that when you write an email, now writing an email to a professor is in itself a full science. Okay, if you write a very long email, there are typo errors in your email, or the content of your email is not relevant, again, it's not going to be the professor will not notice it. So it's very important that you understand how to write an email to a professor that it get noticed. So most likely your email will, the professor will likely give 5 to 10 seconds to your email. And in those 5 to 10 seconds, what you need to do is that you need to hook the professor so that he or she reads the rest of your email. So you might need to think about mentioning something upfront that kind of makes you stand out. For example, if you have a paper in a very good journal, or let's suppose you have a 4x4 GPA. So these are certain things which can make you stand out, and that can kind of directly connect with the professor. Number six, what if the professor does not reply? So it's very likely that you write emails to professors and they won't reply to you, because there are multiple reasons for it. Sometimes the professor receives lots of emails, and he or she cannot reply to all of them. Other times, maybe the professor kind of forgets to reply and so on and so forth. So, what you can do is that after 2 to 3 days, if you do not get a reply, you can try to give a soft reminder to the professor to get back to you on your email. Now, if even despite you giving um, a reminder, you do not get a reply, maybe you can try the backdoor. And what I mean by that is that, for instance, you can try to drop a message on LinkedIn to the professor, or you can maybe get in touch with the professor on Twitter if he or she is on Twitter. So that way, at least they get to know, they you kind of get noticed. Of course, the professor is going to look at your profile and making sure that your profile is the best fit for that position. But doing these kind of things, at least you would come under the radar of the professor. Number 7, got the professor's approval. So what happens is that, let's suppose you uh, have emailed the professor, and your email also mean the professor replies to you. So most likely the professor will ask you for a meeting in or an interview, and then you appear and then you perform well in an interview. Now that's another whole story of how to handle an interview for a PhD position. But let's suppose you do well in the interview and eventually the professor offers you the position. Okay, so that's, if you reach that stage, then I would say 90% of the job is already done, because in Australian context, or having the approval of the professor, it's I think a very significant step. Number 8. Now, once you have the approval from the professor, so then the professor will guide you and ask you that, okay, go ahead and apply for the admission and scholarship. And then that's more of a documentation kind of stuff. You have to prepare a proposal according to the guidance given by the professor. You go ahead and you apply for admission and scholarship, and you attach the correspondence with the professor and the admission office. Then they handle it from there. Number 9, once you get the admission and the scholarship, then obviously you need to apply for the visa. Applying for Australian visa as a student is again a whole kind of science, in the sense that you have to prepare some documents, you have to attach the right set of documents, and so on and so forth. Now, once you get the visa, then obviously that's almost 99% of the job is done. And number 10 is traveling to Australia. So when you have all sorted out, you have admission, scholarship, visa, the last thing is to pack your bags and travel to Australia. So obviously there are certain support groups on different social media platforms, which can then help you in terms of settling in Australia, going to your university, finding your accommodation, and so on and so forth. So I hope that you will find this guide useful if you are somebody who is willing to go to Australia for PhD or for master by research. So obviously you need to have a scholarship, because without a scholarship, it's quite expensive. And most of the students that I have seen, they pursue their PhD via scholarships. So I hope that if these steps you follow, you would be able to get a scholarship in Australia. And if any point in these points is not kind of making sense, or it's not clear, or if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email.